your grandma's stuffing recipe is not better than stovetop. I have yet to experience it, and I have tried a lot of homemade stuffings going to church potlucks and things over the years. I have not come across a stuffing better than that box stuffing. And like
True.
I said in Film Banter, send me the recipe.
Send
if
an
you're
email.
like, if you're like, no. My grandma's recipe is
Email
perfect.
feedback@screentimepod.com.
There you
Please
go.
do.
Yeah.
Because even if you prove me wrong, I win because then I get a better stuffing.
I'm not a big stuffing person. I'm not. I've never been. I don't know if it's the celery flavor.
Well,
or
that's-
You're not into stuffing?
I'm not into stuffing.
Man, I am.
Yeah. You're into stuffing?
I'm into stuffing big time. Heavy.
Big time.
Heavy stuffing?
Heavy stuffing. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Whew.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All day
It's
stuffing.
a lot of stuffing.
It is. It is a lot of stuffing.
Welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh, and I have with me my co-hosts, Claudia
Hola.
and Jered.
Hola.
Okay. Once
Getting
again,
ethnic in here.
Jared has to can't
Getting that
come-
Duolingo count
he
up.
is.
No, the Duolingo's the strong with the Duolingo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm up to over 200 day streak.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what have you learned?
Not as much as I thought I would at this point.
I think you just need to immerse yourself in the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goal is to be able to have a full conversation with Claudia's grandma.
Nice.
Man, that'll be the day.
I really got to start brushing up on my Portuguese
Mm-hmm.
because we're gonna try to go there next year.
Ooh,
Nice.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
But today it's Thanksgiving.
Mm.
So happy
just-
Thanksgiving to everyone.
Yep.
And so what are you guys thankful for? I'll start out by saying I'm thankful for this podcast. This is a lot of fun, and this is something I've wanted to do for years,
Mm-hmm.
and finally being able to make it happen this year. That was it's fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's awesome. It's very nice.
Yeah. I agree.
So
That's something I've been
thank
wanting
you
to
guys for doing this with me.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting
Yeah. We
this podcast.
we just did this on our other pod, and we were
Oh, yeah?
talking about we were asking, like, I was asking Claudia what she was thankful for, and then we talked about that too, because I'm the same way. I've been wanting to do a pod for a while now, and it's cool that we got two of them now going. It's crazy
Yeah.
to be on video too. That's a
Yeah, that's
huge
wild.
difference
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to get used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have a place to record.
Yeah.
You got a new tree in the background.
New tree.
Right behind you, Claudia.
Wow. It's there. It's actually there.
Yeah. It's not a green screen.
No. This is all tangible things.
Yeah.
You can touch it.
The Emmy is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 4 more where that came from.
So what else are you guys thankful for?
I mean, I'm just gonna rehash what I said on the other one, but that's fine.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's
I'm thankful for Claudia.
right. Yeah, because since Thanksgiving last year, you guys weren't married.
No.
Right.
Yep. This is our first Thanksgiving married.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say my wife right afterwards, but I can't say that without saying it in the Borat way. So I'm just gonna keep going.
Just like you can't say fiance without saying it.
Yep.
The Seinfeld, or I should say Elaine way.
Yeah, Elaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I hardly ever said that when we were
I can't,
engaged.
Like,
I
even
know.
other people say it. One of the guys I work with, like I just went to his wedding, but he was, since I've known him,
Mm-hmm.
he's been engaged. And so every time he says fiance,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say it. I almost said it there.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like, fiance.
That's why, like, the whole time we were engaged, I barely said the word because I just couldn't. I couldn't do it without like just laughing. And then if I did that in a conversation, people would be like, "Why are you laughing?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thankful for my whole family too, mom and dad, and my siblings, which one of them's right here.
Oh.
The firstborn.
Yeah, the golden child.
We got the first and the last.
Yeah, we got the golden child and whatever mom calls me, I forget.
The perfect child.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
golden and
that's
perfect.
the
Yeah.
perfect.
Sorry about you two in the middle.
Not that you listen to this anyway.
Right.
No, it's okay, but I'll mention them because I mentioned the other ones too.
Mhm.
Micah and Drea also. And then the nieces and nephews, which some of them are back there behind the camera.
Mm. Yeah. Kind of
You can't see them, but
in,
But we
in this
can.
in this same building that we're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, they're here.
they're here. Yeah.
They're around.
About half of them, because Josh pretty much had like half of
Half
our
the
nieces.
nieces and
Yeah.
nephews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got busy.
Got busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. What about?
What are you thankful for? Yeah.
Thankful for obviously Jered, my husband. I'm not gonna get all mushy like I did in the film banter one, but it's been awesome. I'm having a really good time. Almost a year married at this point. Thankful for my family as well. Parents, my brother Julian. He's maybe we'll have him on the podcast at one point. If you think I'm funny, just wait till you meet Julian. He's way funnier.
We were saying we were just going to go around, ask people what their favorite movie is so we can line it up to,
Yeah,
get
it's a good
him
idea. Mhm.
on the pod.
Yep. Thankful for our dog Duke because he's the best boy ever. And yeah, thankful for the podcasts that we're doing. They're a lot of fun, and it's really cool to see, how they've grown so far, and excited to see where that goes in the future. Who knows? We could just, be one of them top podcasts. It'd be really cool.
Yeah. One day.
Never know. Yeah.
Yep.
And,
Make it happen, everyone.
And
Make
we're
it.
thankful for you, listeners and watchers,
Yep.
Yeah.
viewers, all of you.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yeti and
One day,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeti and Ghost are
Yeah.
sponsors.
Oh, yeah, it's true. We got 2 Yetis on it. Yeah.
Just got to believe.
Yeah.
Just got to believe.
Got the new Power Pink.
Yeah. See, Claudia, you gotta put there you go. You got to keep it out.
Look at that. It's so heavy and huge.
But yeah, so, but all joking aside, I kind of said it jokingly, but yeah, we do appreciate
Yeah,
and are thankful
definitely.
for all the people that watch and listen. But today we are going to talk about the show Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, episode 1 and 2. But before we get into that, we gonna talk a little about what we've been watching. So, Irma, did you watch anything else this past
Yeah,
week?
not much this time, but are we gonna cut in anime corner?
I will see.
Okay.
See if he does one or not.
All right. Yeah, I think I only have 2. Yes, 2. Okay, the first one Claudia and I can both talk about
Okay.
is Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Oh, the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On Netflix. And I thought originally this was going to be a continuation, but it's still,
Yeah,
Whole story again.
I've heard it say
Yeah.
yeah.
and I'm sure they're going to add more in, I'm assuming it's just the whole graphic novel, like what it was originally based on. And it's cool. The best part about it is I couldn't believe they got literally everyone back,
Mm-hmm.
which that makes sense why they did it. Like they weren't going to be able to do a live action, version of this. That would be way harder to get everyone back. But, at least just doing, voice work, I imagine is a little bit easier to get everyone back for, right?
Probably, yeah.
So it's cool that everyone's back, but it is different. Obviously not as good as the movie. But I still think it's good. We watched 2.
No, Just the first one.
Oh, I thought we watched the second one too.
If you maybe
No, I didn't.
must have been your other girlfriend.
Yeah,
your other
right.
wife.
Yeah.
Gotta slip that joke in. Listen,
Yeah,
ladies,
always.
slip that joke in there.
Must have been.
Yeah.
I had heard that Edgar Wright was involved in getting the cast back
Oh, okay.
for the anime,
Nice.
even though he's like not really.
Yeah, it just
he's
says
not-
executive producer. He's not really.
But that was part of what he basically reached out to and was like, hey. So he was kind of, I guess, because he put his name on it, like they
Okay.
were all willing,
Nice.
It's the only way they could have made it like something that would be like good, is if they got the original movie cast, because if watching it so far, if it were anyone else, I would be like, probably not going to watch this, to be honest. But because it has all the same characters, it makes it that much better. So,
So you like it so far?
yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's kind of what I expected.
Yeah.
As far as like, I obviously knew it wasn't going to be the movie, but I do like that, it is very like anime watching it. And they have some of the same jokes, which I really appreciate that they kept like the heavy hitting jokes still in there, and it makes it, funny. And, yeah, I mean, it's all right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine those probably the ones that were originally in the graphic novel anyway.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
And then the other one is Fargo season 5.
Oh,
Just started. Yes.
Nice.
I watched a little bit of it. This time it is. Well, what's cool is so all the seasons so far have been at least like the first season I believe was in the 90s, second season was the 70s, third season I don't remember. No, sorry, the first season was like early 2000s. Maybe the third season was 90s. Fourth season was the 50s. This is the only one that it takes place in 2019. I was surprised. Yeah, very new. But I mean, I like it so far. The last season, even though set in the 50s, which I was excited about, I didn't like the last season as much. And nothing will beat season 1 or 2. Those are the two best seasons of the show by far. But the cast is
so you got a
still
cool
good. Yeah, not as many, at least so far. They might come in later. But it's Juno Temple, John Hamm, and Joe Keery, which is what's his name from Stranger Things? What's his name? Steve? Yeah, Steve from Stranger Things. So
hair guy.
yeah, yep. That's it so far. That's in it, but they're great. It's I just love seeing all the because they always get big actors to be in this, and I love hearing them do the Minnesota accent because it's just
Minnesota.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I haven't watched much of it yet, but it's cool so
it's
far.
one I'm planning on checking out, but I hadn't started it yet.
Yeah, and that's it for me.
Yeah. So I watched the Murder at the End of the World.
Oh, okay. How much?
First 2 episodes.
All right.
Yeah, enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Watched the Buccaneers on Apple TV. It's not bad. It's okay.
I was wondering if
it's kind of like
it's not my thing.
No, it's kind of like it's interesting watching. Let's say it's
Might
interesting
be
watching.
Claudia's thing.
Yeah, you probably like it if you like that kind of stuff.
Bridgerton.
It's like
Oh yeah,
it's like
Different though. Yeah.
It's like it's a different time period, but it's I'll say it's like basically probably around. They don't actually give dates, at least that I picked up on, but it's probably 1890s to 1900, like somewhere around there.
So that's like the same as Gilded Age, right?
Well, just a little bit after,
Okay.
but like it's probably about 10 years or 20 years after the Gilded Age, because they talk about it's which is interesting to be watching at the same time as the Gilded Age.
Yeah.
The Gilded Age, because it's like they are in. So it's the premise is there's a bunch of group of girls that are friends that are Americans that are from New York, but they're kind of like wealthy New York families. And one of them meets and marries a guy from England. And so then they all go there for the wedding or something. And then like they meet but then they're not proper, right? Because they're Americans. So there's like that dynamic, but then it's also like they're wearing the dresses and doing the things and going to balls like you would in that time. But there was comment about like how like, you know, they have electricity in America at this point, but they really hadn't implemented it in England yet. So that's at least puts it in a time period like around there. Cause I know like it was the early 1900s where they started, you know, having electricity there. But you know, it's, you know, definitely not at the level of the Gilded Age as far as like actors and writing and like that stuff. Like, especially because we've watched like 3 or 4 episodes of that this season, and that's been really good. I don't know if you guys are still watching that.
No, I haven't.
And it's like again, I know I think I mentioned this last week, but the accompanying the official podcast that goes along with it is so good if you're interested in like the history, because they have like a New York historian guy on there, and then the other lady's cool. Like an expert at film history, I think, or something. She does some. So they talk about the different things, and it's amazing how like it's way more than you would think are very historical accurate things in that show. So
nice.
Yeah, so which makes it, you're like, well, that's really, you know, it just makes it a little even neater, you know, when you watch it.
The Buccaneers one is the Apple
TV.
one, right?
Yeah, that's Apple TV, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's pretty easy watching, but it's not like at the level of, because even Bridgerton, I think, is better from like a story writing kind of acting kind of level than this is. Yeah, This is kind of just like a B tier almost, but still entertaining.
Do they try to do pop songs with violins and?
No, they don't do that. No.
Okay.
I thought
Queen isn't black.
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, well, you haven't met the Queen, so
so she could be.
Yeah, she could be.
But
who is in this one? Is there anyone really?
Not anybody I recognize. Okay. Not really.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's not true. The main 2 girls that are sisters. The mom is played by the secretary in Mad Men, the redhead.
Oh, the redhead. Okay, yeah.
I can't remember the actress's name.
Claudia's looking at me.
Jared's like, oh yeah, the redhead.
Yeah.
I think I
remember her.
I think I remember that character.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember the actress's name or even the character in the movie in that show.
Joan is her name in the show.
Joan,
yeah.
Yes. So she plays the mom.
Okay.
But she's not. The reason I kind of almost forgot, because she's only in the first episode, because then the next, like, I think we watched 4. Next 3 episodes are in England, and she didn't go to England with the kids. So then, they kind of look like they were setting up for the next episode. They're going to go back to New York, and like some of these guys that they've met are going with them. So I think she'll be back, but anyway. But it's, you know, it's entertaining. I think there was something else I watched. I forgot to write them down. That's why. Men, like that Gilded Age, Lessons in Chemistry, For All Mankind, all these, they kind of taught men, you know, continue to catch up, you know, keep up with them, and they've all been really good. But yeah, I feel like there was something else I watched that was new, but.
Did you watch The Creator yet?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Not. Did I watch a movie? Maybe that's what I don't know. I don't remember.
There's a lot of good ones finally out.
Oh.
We've got the Creator. We got The Killer.
Mm-hmm.
We have Oppenheimer now finally.
Right.
There was one more.
But I haven't watched any of those.
Oh, Mission Impossible. But I
already saw it in the theater. Yeah. But yeah, so, But yeah.
By the way, a quick note about the killer. This movie was made for Claudia.
Oh yeah. Did you watch it?
Well, no, we started it. We have
haven't
not finished it. But I was telling her about it. I'm like, they made this movie in a lab for Claudia. Why don't you explain,
It's
Claudia?
very
Well, first, the director.
scary. It's like they just peeked into my brain and was like, "Oh, she'll really like this. Let's make this happen, right?" Because obviously it's a Fincher movie.
Mm-hmm. That's one of your favorite
And
directors.
he's one of my favorite directors. Michael Fassbender stars in it.
Mm-hmm. It's your boy.
It's your boy. He's a serial killer. And he only kills while listening to the Smiths.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
crazy.
I was just like, okay. So moments like this, I feel like I'm in the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is scary, like how
I think you should write a
much I love this. Like, these are like 4 really heavy hitting things for me.
I think you should personally write a letter to David Fincher and just say
I
thank
think
you.
I will. Yeah. Be like,
Thank you for peering into my soul.
yeah, right. I feel like I say this a lot, but I really felt seen
Yes.
just because there's so many, I mean, need I
Also,
say
like,
more?
I mean, we're only a little ways in, but it's so good so far already. And I mean, I knew it. I'm like, this is gonna be good.
Oh man,
Has
I
he made a
cannot
bad
wait to
movie?
finish this movie. No,
Some people don't like Benjamin Button, but I still like that one. That's
it's
probably
still a
his
good movie.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't like it, like,
Right.
I mean, I probably wouldn't watch it again, but it's still a good movie.
Yep. I don't think he's done a bad movie.
No, yeah,
Okay. Anyway, not.
Yeah.
very
Not a movie.
weird.
No,
For me.
No, we're not doing Fincher.
Yeah,
yet.
we're not
It's-
doing
it's-
Fincher yet.
Yeah,
I'm just so excited to do Fincher because it's fresh in my mind because he just finally came out with another movie. Because his last one was 2020.
yes.
Has it been that long?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
It's the man.
Do we have some reality to be checking today?
Yes, we do.
This ain't reality TV!
Bienvenidos, fellow Screen Time listeners. We are back with another reality check. I'm just gonna keep riding the Survivor train because this stuff is bananas. Like, I just feel like every episode's getting better. I'm really pleased with this season because the last couple ones were like, but this one is really feeling like Survivor again because of, the things that they're bringing back. In this episode, we got the Survivor auction back, and we haven't seen that in several seasons. I was very excited to get that back in this episode, but there was a twist with the Survivor auction. Typically, in previous seasons, the Survivor auction is the players coming up like they're about to do a challenge, but they get an envelope of $500 each. And Jeff Probst has a table and a gavel, and he brings out plates, typically of food or advantages, and is like, all right, highest bidder gets this plate. So usually the first thing is like, chips and guac or some pretzels. In this case, the first one was pretzels and a beer. But the twist for this particular auction, which was the first time we've seen this in Survivor history, was that these people came up on boats to their camp and they didn't know what they were there for, right? They bring out a table and it has baskets with the names of each player on this table. And the guy that comes out of the boat gives one of the players the letter. The person reads it out loud saying, in your jungle, there are, 20 or 30 bamboo shoots with cash in them. You have, this many to find. Once you find them all, that's your cash to use at the Survivor auction. So, immediately everybody starts scrambling for the woods, finding these little bamboo shoots to get their cash. And whoever collects the most gets the most cash. And you can use that at the auction. Bruce, I don't know what, he's like, oh, these kids running around, I'm going to take my time. Finds one, he's got like $80 to use for the auction. Dee is the one who finds the most. She has like $800 to spend at this auction. Each bamboo shoot had different amounts of cash in it. So, you could have gotten lucky with one and
Yes.
probably been fine. So they're like, oh, great. Everybody's counting their cash. People with the highest number of cash are just like, woo, I'm going to get all this stuff. They get to the auction and Jeff is like, there's a twist. There is going to be at least 5 items auctioned. And there could be up to, I think, 20 items auctioned. But after the 5th one, he's drawing a stone from a bag that has 6 to 20 stones in it. Whatever number he picks is the amount of things after 5 is going to get auctioned off. But nobody knows the number. He's like, I'll know the number, but you won't. So, for example, if they get to 5, their 5th 5 things are promised. If he drew a 6, there's only one thing after that. Nobody knows. And the person left with the most money loses their vote at tribal council. So everybody's like, well, I'm just going to, spend it.
Yeah, spend it.
Yeah.
Spend it. And he, told everybody all of these are going to be, food-like items. There's not going to be any advantages in the auction. So they know that going off the bat, you don't have to save your money to get an advantage later. It's always going to be food or something, that you would want to have. So like the first thing was pretzels and beer. Kendra spends all her money on that. She gets a bowl of pretzels and a big pitcher of beer, and everybody's just like, oh my gosh, because they're starving and never had enough beer in forever. And and then the next couple items are good, and some of them are covered, so nobody really knows what's under there. So I forget her name. She bids on an item that's covered, and Jeff's like, okay, do you want this item? Or do you want this item? And he brings out a plate, with another covered thing. And she's like, I think I'm going to stick with the original one. It's like these giant fish eyes, not something that you would want to win in the Survivor auction, but you could eat it and it would be protein, sort of thing. But she's like, no, I don't want these. And she goes and sits down or whatever. But one of the ladies wins a toothbrush and some toothpaste and mouthwash. So
wow.
I know it's like kind of a cool little, because I've never done that before. It's either been food or advantages, but I mean, freaking brushing my teeth on Survivor after 15 days of not doing that, I would have probably spent all my money on that. That would have been awesome. But anyway, so yeah, the Survivor auction goes, and then Bruce ends up with the most money at the end, I think. So he loses his vote at tribal that night.
The guy that just got the one?
They got $80
So
because he couldn't outbid anybody on anything.
Oh.
So at the very end, he was left with the most money, and then, Jeff ran out of stuff to auction and he was left with the most cash. So as soon as that's over, everybody's like, yeah, I think it's time to vote Bruce out. And I'm like, thank you. Yes, please. Let's vote Bruce out. It's pretty much a solid plan until the immunity challenge, when Bruce wins immunity.
Oh.
So Bruce is no longer on the table to get voted out. Doesn't matter that he doesn't have a vote. He's safe that night. And I think his name is Jake. Pretty much was sure it was him going home. Like everybody was just pretty much like, yeah, he was a flip-flopper in the last vote. We can't really trust him. I think he's a liability. Let's just get him out. Even though he's not really a big threat, they still were like, yeah. So at tribal council, the dude's shaking in his boots the whole night. He's
He's the one that's like
so Boston.
Yeah, so Boston.
So Boston, yes. So he's like, he's nervous at tribal council. Jeff's asking him questions and he's getting nervous with his answers and kind of completely forgets the question. And, he's kind of pleading his case to everybody. Please don't vote me out tonight. This is why, I'm not a threat in this game. He's really trying to sell these people, right? So anyway, everybody goes to place the votes. We're all pretty much assuming he's going home. He does not go home, because Kelly gets blindsided. And Kelly was a power player, and she was one of Bruce's closest allies. And I didn't see it coming at all. Even watching Tribal Council, she was stunned. I mean, stunned that she was going home. She got up and she was just like, what? Was it you? Was it you? Was it? I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. And she was just like, completely taken aback. And so was I. But this is like what Survivor's about. I was like, I liked Kelly, but it was such a good play to get her out and blindside her. I was just like, this is why I watched the show. Some of those last tribal councils were just stupid and I didn't like them. But this one, I'm like, okay, now the game's like, we're getting into it. This is when people start getting cutthroat, and I'm living for it.
How many more episodes do you know? Like, well, I guess how many players?
So at this point, I think there might be 8 players left, maybe.
Oh, I thought there was less than that.
No, I think it's
Okay.
about that. I don't know. I honestly don't know how many, but I think it's around. If I had to think about it, probably.
It's probably not
around-
going to be more. Probably not going to be 8 more episodes then.
No, probably.
Okay.
Probably not. Well, I mean, at the final end, there's 3 people left.
Right, okay.
So the final episode, there's at least 3 players.
So then, like 5 more.
Probably
episodes?
5 more episodes. Yeah. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Y'all need to get Dee out. Dee needs to go home. She's gonna win this thing if you guys do not take her out. Is all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's it. Because all of my other time goes to playing Minecraft right now because I'm in a Minecraft hole. I'm out of the Love Island hole. Out of the love hole.
Yeah.
And I'm into the Minecraft hole.
Into the crafting hole.
The crafting hole.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's
Cool.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. This just made me think of. I tried to watch the James Bond reality.
Oh, that looked horrible.
Yeah. Well, because it has the guy from
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
from Succession,
Mhm.
like as the host.
Brian Cox.
Yeah, Brian Cox.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. Dude, I could not get past like 10 minutes.
It looked
was
bad. I saw the
so
trailer.
boring.
Yeah.
So boring.
Lame.
So boring. It was no. Anyway. Yeah. I don't normally watch those kind of things, but like I was like, oh, it's James Bond and
Right.
Brian Cox. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right. No. It's-
Sad.
all right, well, let's get into our feature presentation. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. So I'm just going to read a little synopsis of the show. This is on Apple TV Plus, for those of you, if you aren't aware. It's set after the battle between Godzilla and the Titans, revealing that monsters are real, follows one family's journey to uncover its buried secrets and a legacy linking them to Monarch. All right, so this show, the series, one of the creators and also directed these first 2 episodes that we're covering is Matt Sheckman, and he did the series WandaVision,
Yeah, he's done a lot.
and then he also directed a bunch of episodes of Game of Thrones and other things, and also a bunch of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, he did like 50
It's Always
episodes of
Sunny.
It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
This guy's,
Yeah.
he's good.
And then we have one of the writers and producers is Chris Black, who also wrote for Severance and Mad Men. So I thought that was,
Whoa.
yeah. So
That's
we
a
get-
good resume
Yeah,
right
so we got
there.
some talented people working on this.
Yeah.
The cast, we've got Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell playing the same character, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really cool.
It's really awesome. We have Anna, I don't know how you say her last name, Swahi, who's Kate, but she was in the series Pachinko on Apple TV and was
Oh.
awesome in that.
Nice.
And then she's also in the upcoming Shogun series on
That looks sick.
Hulu, which also looks awesome.
Yeah.
So, and I think she's doing great in this too.
Yeah.
And then we have John Goodman
Mm-hmm.
is playing the older Bill.
That was not clear, and I figured that out later.
I didn't realize it until I was
Yeah,
looking at
I know
the
that
names.
was not clear in the show.
I was like,
Did you
oh.
think about that? So John Goodman, in the beginning, right? He was in the very first scene.
Well, we can talk about it. when
Okay,
we
we'll
get
talk
to-
about that. Yeah, yeah.
Get into the like spoiler stuff.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
There's only people I wrote down because the rest of the people I did not recognize to
Mhm.
me. I've seen them in anything else, so I didn't. Because there's like obviously a lot of people in a show, but
I got 2 more.
yeah, tomorrow. Okay, who
Yeah.
else are you?
Oh, you well yeah, the young is it the young version of
Bill.
yeah, Anders Holm
Okay.
is from Workaholics, and that's the only way I can picture him.
Okay.
So
See,
it's a weird scene
I
of
never
it.
watched
It is
that.
a weird
Yeah.
role for him.
I mean, he did
coming
well,
from-
but it's just
Yeah,
I
he seemed
just
good
always
in it.
think
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Workaholics, but yeah. Oh, and the other one, he was only in episode 2, not in the first one, and he's probably going to be in later. Is He is General Puckett, and the actor is Christopher Heyerdahl. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
He's in a lot of stuff, and I really like him. He was in all of Hell on Wheels as like the main bad guy, which is a great show. He's been in... Oh, he's in something else recently, but he shows up a lot. He's like older actor that I like a lot. But yeah, so he was the general in the second episode.
Okay.
I did not know that John Goodman was the older version of...
Yeah, none of us did. Like,
No,
that was
didn't
not
know.
clear. No.
Did not realize.
I didn't. Yeah.
Now that I looked at it, I'm like, oh, no.
No.
So, but yeah, some good casting. So yeah, overall, just general thoughts, quick before we start getting into the episodes.
I think that if this show was produced by anyone but Apple, it would not be that good.
Why do you say that?
I think a show about monsters can get pretty corny easily, I feel like, especially when you're like doing the CGI for these big monsters and creatures. They're doing an excellent job making these
So you're
look
saying
realistic.
it because they put money into it? Like,
Yes.
Is that what like Apple
Right.
is willing to whatever millions of dollars per
Right.
episode?
They're willing to shovel out that money to make this good.
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe the only other person would be, well, and now I'd say like original HBO or old HBO, because even I don't know going forward how much they'll do as much that kind of stuff, but
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
they maybe, but yeah, it's at that level where like the Game of Thrones level of like, hey, we're gonna spend the money for the CGI and make it.
Yeah. And it's excellent. It's
Yeah, production values
very
is insane.
realistic looking.
Oh, yeah.
And so far the storyline is pretty gripping enough for me to be like, oh, I'm excited to see what
Yes.
happens next. So, and I love Godzilla. Like any Godzilla movie in previous years, like I've watched probably multiple times just because I love anything about like big monsters and like legends about big monsters. It's like I liked the Godzilla movies, the newer ones. Sorry, I did. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I did. And just seeing like these giant monsters like hashing it out is just like I could just watch it all day. So
Yeah,
I was
that's the
very
coolest part.
excited
Yeah.
for this to come out, and had high hopes that it would be good because it's Apple. And so far I'm very pleased with it. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it is interesting, like the the whole, like, I don't know, government part of it, Monarch, whatever, shadowy organization, whatever you want to call
they're
it.
like the Men in Black for monsters.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The that's intriguing, and I think some of the best stuff is, obviously when you see the different monsters and how well they do it because they have the money to do it, which I agree 100% with that I'm glad this is on Apple. Because that could easily go. We were just talking about bad CGI. Like that could easily go not great.
Yeah.
And for a show that's heavily like centers around that, it's like you got to do that right. But I think overall these first two, though, the premise is like exciting, but some of it I don't think I was as much into. But I think it'll get better as it goes. But just some of it I was like okay, this is interesting. I actually like the stuff in the past more than the present. That's more interesting to me in the show so far. But but I still liked it. Yeah. What about you?
Cool. Yeah, I think it kind of would echo the things you guys both said. The production value, that stuff is just it's as high as level as anything you can see in a movie or anything. I mean, like it looks like a movie.
It does. Yeah.
The lore part is very interesting, right? And the secrets and like who is Monarch and what are they? Do they control these monsters? Do they all that stuff, like which we don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet then we'll hopefully learn little things here and there as time goes on. But then I agree with you a little bit. Like there's parts of this that seem to. It's I think just a lot of some setup, right? Like it's like in the first 2 episodes, and the backstory stuff is more interesting because it's not setting up as much as it is just you're learning some of the history, whereas like the present time.
Yeah, it's like 2015.
Yeah,
it's
2015.
not.
I know. I actually have it written down because I figured we would discuss it in time periods instead of. But yeah, 2015, and yeah, that stuff is it's a little. I don't know. Like it's so it's like not really slow is not the right word, but maybe just a little messy. Maybe it's
that's a good point because I didn't think the show was slow. Like overall, it was pretty entertaining the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, like I think they did a good job in that.
I think
especially Matt Shackman, like he's he's good at that because he's done that with a lot of shows over the years.
But I mean, I enjoyed watching it for sure. Like enjoyed watching both episodes, and definitely didn't want to. Like the first one wasn't like didn't want to. You watch that first one, then you're like, I gotta watch the second one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the third one's already out because it came out early for Thanksgiving.
Because of Thanksgiving, all the Apple stuff,
which is awesome. I love when they do that.
Yeah, because For All Mankind dropped and Lessons in Chemistry,
the final episode of Lessons. Yeah.
So all that stuff dropped today. So as we're recording this,
we have not watched the third episode yet.
No, we have not. We have not. Oh, the only other thing I would just say is if you have not watched Pachinko, go watch Pachinko. That was very good.
Yeah, it was.
It's very good. Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. Not all of it. Oh, yeah. But I did watch some of it.
Okay. Because I was like, not to go on a tangent, but like I feel like I don't know anybody else that watched it. So when I watched it, like it was like no one to talk to about it, and it's like this really well done. Hopefully, people kind of watch it a little bit here and there and so when they do season 2. Like there'll be more people.
Yep.
But
anyway. I think it'll get there. Yeah.
All right. So let's get into some spoilers. So episode 1 called Aftermath. Kate travels to Japan to get answers about her father and uncovers a shocking secret. Kiko, Lee, and Billy pursue a theory about Titans. So that's a little synopsis for episode 1. So we start out episode 1 in 1973 on Skull Island.
Mm-hmm. This was cool.
Yeah, this was cool.
Yeah.
And horrifying.
But it's cool. They're actually on Skull Island, though.
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
John Goodman, was he in? I never saw that movie.
Yeah, he was in the movie, wasn't he?
Was
Claudia?
he in? I didn't look it up.
Was he in one of the?
John Goodman?
Yeah.
Was he in Skull Island?
Or one of the Godzilla movies, wasn't he?
Remember.
Okay. I didn't know if they were like tying it in that way or not.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, does this take place like right after the 2014 movie? Because they're in 2015.
2015 does, yeah.
Okay,
Definitely does.
All right,
yes,
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
because that was like the first kind of reboot Godzilla movie, right? Was 2014?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
I think so.
Maybe he was in that one. Do you remember that one, Claudia?
No.
You've watched them all though, right? Okay.
But I mean, the one I've seen the most is probably everybody's worst one. Is the one with Bryan Cranston in it.
Oh, is that that one?
That's the Godzilla one. With the
that might have been the 2014 one.
John Goodman's not in that one, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, we're fact checking right now.
Yeah.
Well, we can keep going, keep talking. So talking about the
intro scene.
The intro scene.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's running through the woods to get the tape. I did like the way they did the effect, and then it kind of transitioned into. There was like they had like it looked like almost like 8mm.
Oh yes.
But then it kind of slowly faded into.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job of that.
Yeah, because they do that later also. Right,
yes.
with him in the past.
Yeah.
So it is the one with Bryan Cranston is the 2014 one.
Okay.
Well, that's cool. And this show is actually connecting at least that movie and maybe some of the others. I don't know, but
I think Kong Skull Island, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine so,
'Cause
but I didn't know
that-
how much they would,
Yeah.
interconnect with the movies, with the show.
But yeah, when he's of course running from something, and then we get to see our first monster.
Oh,
This giant spider-looking thing.
I would just pass away.
yeah, that one was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to give it to John Goodman. He's getting up there in age, but he didn't look like he was like struggling too much running through the forest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause,
No, yeah, he was still running.
He still looks like he was running.
It was a lot of green screen, I could tell, though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
in that
But,
in the opening. But yeah,
it didn't
he was
look like he was like,
No.
dying.
Yeah.
I probably would have looked worse running through the forest.
At your age now?
At 26 years old. Yeah.
But then like the crab thing comes out. And
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was
it's
so good.
so unexpected.
It
Like,
Now-
was.
The very beginning, though, do we actually see King Kong?
He was
What-
in a.
it was like something hit. Like you don't. It's like
Right.
so
Okay, that's what it
quick.
was. We didn't really.
It was like
yeah.
a reel from like like a
Yeah,
image, like a video was playing from.
and
footage
it's
from
hard to
last-
tell, but yeah, it sounded like it was.
I figured. Yeah.
Like, and then of course it says you're on Skull Island, so
Right.
like, I assumed it maybe it was, but you don't really see him. But yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the crab and the spider end up in the water, so I feel like we know who won that fight in the end,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. True.
Yes. But that one, I'll just say that one didn't creep me out as much as one of the ones later.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
really? Okay.
Because like spiders, yeah, I mean in real life, a bigger spider, will be like, yeah, but most of the time they don't bother me too much. But yeah,
All right. Well, we'll get into it.
yeah. But that's short. So then we have two other. So we can jump back in time to 1959, which Bill, Kiko, and Lieutenant Lee are in Kazakhstan,
Mm.
and they're checking out some radiation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they come upon a secret government base, basically,
Yeah.
or lab, or whatever you want to,
Mhm.
whatever it is, right?
Looks like a little Chernobyl.
Yeah, government.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it does look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the little kid,
Oh, man.
that's a gun.
Mhm.
Was funny. But yeah, so then they discover some eggs.
I'm just like so frustrated with this scene because I feel like the obvious is gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I mean, come on. Did you ever see Land of the Lost?
I did not know.
Okay, there's a scene in Land of the Lost, the new one with Will Ferrell, where he comes
I
up
love that's
upon
your
this.
comparison.
He comes
movie.
upon this pterodactyl nest, and there's a ton of eggs glowing. Right, pterodactyl eggs glowing, and he's like, even a drop of sweat would activate the hatching process. That's literally what played in my mind when they came upon this thing. I was like, you can't go in there and take a DNA sample. Even a drop of sweat would activate their hatching process, right?
Yes,
And then the obvious happens.
it's classic suspense horror kind of stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
you know what's gonna happen. You know it's not a good idea. They
Right.
do it anyway.
They do it anyway.
and it's still kind of like you're like,
So that's what got you this scene?
well, the bugs, yeah, like
Yeah.
Oh,
like
like
There's a lot
when
of
there's
them.
so many of them
and they're
climbing
just
up.
like I was like,
climbing on top of each other.
yeah, and then
When
and just pulling at her, and
yeah.
oh
Yanking her
man,
down.
yeah,
What a
When-
way to go, man.
When they're still like in the pods and like they're moving around, though, it looked very xenomorph, reminded me of Alien.
Yeah.
a
yeah,
lot.
definitely.
well, yeah, definitely approaching it.
Yeah.
That was what I thought of. I did not think of Will Ferrell.
Yeah. And that's
Niche
listen,
reference.
That's so me.
Yeah.
Is to do a niche reference.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like definitely. It's the prequel movie
Prometheus.
Prometheus. Like it reminded me, like
Yeah.
Which one would you rather get chased by? Xenomorphs or these bug things?
Oh, definitely these things.
Yeah.
Xenomorph is like unstoppable killing
Like,
machines.
these things look like if they were just been a little bit quicker, they would have.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and Lee got out. Like he got out.
You had to climb up out of there. You could probably run.
Yeah.
If it was like a straight, out of there thing. But
Because he survives because he's So both the guys survive. So like now the question is she dead?
No.
I didn't see it. Okay, I have a rule.
Yeah,
In shows,
no body.
if I don't see
Yep.
the corpse,
Okay.
That's a
I don't
classic
believe it.
thing, movie, TV thing is,
yeah,
Okay.
correct.
All right. So we all think she's alive. Huh?
Yeah, she's alive, yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
wouldn't
would
kill
say
her off
so.
that quick anyway, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was like a future flashback, if that makes sense. Because when we
Oh,
go
that's
back
true.
to their original, the next flashback of them is them all meeting for the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Technically, she could, and this could have been the end of her road, because all we know is like that picture of her and that giant footprint later on in the show.
Right. Because this is 1959, and then episode 2 goes back further.
Right.
And so then all the flashbacks could be before 59.
Yeah.
And then she would be in the whole season, but yet she died.
Yeah, that's a good way they could do it, since they are jumping around so much, is they could not be so scared to kill off people, because they can just, if they just want to use
They can
actors.
show so much
Yeah.
backstory
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, she's in a really bad position if she's not dead, is what I'm saying. We'll
Yeah,
see.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know how she'd get out of it.
Well, and then how you survive that, unless they
Right.
were just like, they were just trying to get out, and they weren't going to eat her anyway, or
Yeah,
something.
they just let her go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's not likely.
Maybe they're kind bugs.
Yes,
Sure, yeah.
because those exist.
Because those are
all bugs are evil.
Yeah.
They all belong in hell.
But that's it we get from that, from 1959. And then the rest of this episode is in 2015, where we have Kate going to Tokyo, and it's about a year after Godzilla attack on San Francisco. And she was a school teacher that was there, and of course we get some flashbacks, I guess 1 year to 2014.
And they call it G-Day.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
G-Day, yeah. So it was interesting, all the like protocols, right? Like they were spraying something on the plane as she got off, right? Which is like, made me think of like COVID.
I know, I was like, absolutely
the
not.
the fake things that like they do to try to make everyone feel secure, even though it's like whatever. And then you had all the little like evacuation like things.
Can you imagine living in a city and like one of their evacuation routes is in case Godzilla comes upon us?
Right.
That would be insane. Dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would feel like if it happened, you would just be like, I'm going to stay here, because you'd want to see Godzilla.
I would want to see him.
Yeah.
I want to see him. Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm gonna go, let me go by.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see this happen. I'm gonna see how this plays out.
So she's there to settle the affairs of her late father, Hiroshi. And she goes to a house that she has keys for, an apartment, and there's people living there.
That two-timing no good son of a bee.
She finds out that he had 2 families, and she has a half brother.
Mm-hmm.
Then they make their way to the dad's office, and they eventually discover a safe, and yeah. But I did want to mention, I loved the cab driver.
Oh,
She gets in the
his
cab,
hustles.
and he's like all talking about how it's all a conspiracy, blah blah blah, and he's like, "Oh, if you want to hear more about it, you can listen to my podcast."
Yeah, that was great.
Because we all have podcasts.
Yep, everyone does now.
Yeah, and I just laughed. I was like, "That's so great,
Yeah.
so great."
Conspiracy theory podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they find the mysterious, which I guess we skip, because there was that brief. I didn't put the date down. There was a different jump in time where there's the fishing boat that gets the
bag.
or
Or
the
whatever
Monarch
it is,
bag that was thrown into the water by John Goodman in 1973.
Yep.
And then it's basically her father finding that. So then they find that in the safe, and then that's like a old computer tape basically, and so then they have to enlist the ex-girlfriend
Yeah.
to help try
The
to.
files are in the computer. Which movie is that?
Zoolander.
Zoolander, right?
Start beating it with a stick.
Oh yeah, because it's on one of the colored IMAX.
Yeah, it's
Right?
the blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene's great.
What a movie.
Oh, I have a quick thing about her half brother.
Okay. Yeah.
His name is Kintaro. The actor is Ren Watabe. Not great acting. Pretty bad from this guy.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice this?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up. This is like the first thing he's in. So I'm like, okay.
He feels like a Lifetime actor. You know what I mean? Like those Lifetime shows.
Yeah, because sometimes he would go like really hard, like, all right, I'm going to really do it.
Right.
And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you're
This isn't
not.
The Young and the Restless.
I think he's in like a short right
back.
before this. I looked up his IMDb. It's like nothing. So,
No, he's getting his
Yeah.
actor
hey, but I mean,
wings.
that's huge for him being on this
That's
show
that's a big role.
when
you
he really
know?
hasn't done hardly anything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, hopefully he'll get better.
Yeah.
Way to call him out. No.
I know.
Loser, get
Well,
good,
it's
bro.
like it's even more noticeable, obviously, when it's a show like it's. If
Yeah.
everyone wasn't doing that
Right.
good of acting, then it wouldn't be as
it's apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I mean is it Kate?
Yeah,
like she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mom was really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we've only heard the other mom. We haven't seen her yet.
Right. Yeah.
Kate is the main girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a piece of work.
Yeah.
That one.
I mean, so I get that you're like upset, like about like finding out that your dad cheated and
Yeah.
had two families.
But she
and-
was like that with her mom before she even knew what was going on. She's
yeah.
being an a-hole to her mama.
But
That's
Yeah.
not cool.
yes, but like these other people, you're like, it's not their fault.
Right.
No.
They're victims too.
Yes.
In this.
So you don't have to. But you're
Yeah.
right. She was kind of. She's got a chip on her shoulder or something.
yeah. Knock it off. Stop being so emo. Okay.
Yeah.
We all have issues.
Well, I mean, she did watch a whole school bus of kids die.
That's true.
So
Yeah. She came
And
face
then
to face with the king himself.
and then she
She
also thinks she lost her father. Though I mean,
Yeah, we
I'm
don't
sure,
know.
I'm sure he's still alive.
Speculation.
Yeah. But yeah. So then they get to some files and she decrypts them, and then it looks like somehow that triggered something, and somebody in Monarch
Mm-hmm.
like flags it,
Mm-hmm.
and
I have two notes about this scene. So them debating if vinyl sounds better was pretty funny because I hear that all the time from people. Like that's a very real conversation that
Yes.
everyone has.
yeah.
Also, what she's doing is very true because she's like, I find all these records at like yard sales for cheap, and then she's like, and people will pay a ton of money for
Yeah.
which is true. So I thought that was funny because like I'm indifferent about it. Like I'm not one of those people that thinks like, oh, there's nothing better than vinyl sound. It does sound different, but it's not. I don't think one way is better than the other. It's different. But the other thing is when she's like, I guess is when she first starts hacking
Yeah.
or trying to get into this thing, or maybe it's a scene later, but it shows like different pictures, and one of them is of Bigfoot. So I was like, oh, is Bigfoot
Yeah.
confirmed real in this?
You're right. You're right.
I'm like, is he part of the monsters too? Because that would be awesome if they just like were like, yeah, Bigfoot's real in this.
You're right. Yeah, I remember dudes seeing that as well. and
A
thinking,
real life Homo sasquatches.
Yeah.
There you go.
They are real.
Bigfoot's real?
I would say Bigfoot is real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen for
I
sure.
mean, I haven't either, but I like to think those things are real. Makes
like
things,
like Nessie.
yeah, like the Loch Ness monster. Makes things exciting,
Yeah.
know. Possibility of monsters existing keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where we leave things off on episode 1.
Yeah.
And then episode 2, Departure. Monarch closes in on Kate, Quintero, and May as they try to track down a key individual. And Kiko, Lee, and Billy stumble on a major find. So we got the 2 storylines. So now we're in 1952. So before the 59, the 59, yeah, 59, which we saw in season 1 or episode 1. Sorry,
Yep.
not season 1, where they found the eggs and the bugs, and now we're back to 52, where these 3 people kind of meet. So we have Lieutenant Shaw there to escort Miura on her expedition, and then they meet Bill on the way. And so then they are in the jungle, and they are they heard rumors of a fire-breathing dragon, and they're looking into that, right?
Yeah.
And then they stumble upon an old Navy ship sitting in the middle of a valley, which seems to sus in itself.
Yeah.
A little sus.
And it sank in 1943, which Bill happened to be
He was on it.
and it was the only person survived. No, seriously, they don't really discuss, which I think was kind of they don't really talk about what the heck's this doing here.
No, they don't.
They're just like,
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, it's a big ship in the middle of a valley.
Yeah,
Maybe
but they
they-
do point out that it's weird that it's in the middle of the valley. Like, why did this happen? How did this happen?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Touch on it. They don't really go into depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like asking him like, how do you know where to go? He's like,
Yeah.
I was on this thing for like,
Yeah, at first
Forever.
he didn't say that, so then
Yeah.
and then
Till he found his little box of things,
mm-hmm.
his belongings.
yeah. And the
Baseball stuff. Oh, actually, was it? Yeah, he had
Yeah,
a
there was
hat
a
of
glove
it.
and a ball in there for
Yeah.
sure, and his hat. Yeah.
But then things start to take a turn for the worse, right?
This thing was cool looking.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So there's like stuff, goo and stuff
Secreting from the
Yeah,
walls
yes.
and the ceilings.
So then they're trying to get out, and
Dragons exist.
Yeah.
so then they start getting attacked because the sides get smashed in by giant claws, and then Lieutenant Lee comes back.
Yep.
And kind of helps them get out. Bill was trapped, but then so they get away. The scene was super cool when the boat's falling over.
Yeah.
And they're running from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. But again, why did it stay up that long?
I know if that thing's been bouncing around in there this long,
Yeah.
how is it still
True.
upright?
Yeah, it should have fell over years ago. But yeah. But anyway, it makes for a cool shot.
Cool
Yeah.
scene. Yeah,
does.
exactly.
And then they
Also, Kiko, like, choosing this guy she just met over the soldier that's been protecting her for a while.
yeah,
What are you doing?
odd choice.
Very
yeah.
odd choice. Would not have been my choice, for sure.
I think it's like what she kind of feels a connection or whatever, because they have similar
Yeah.
similar
goals.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Shaw's like roasting him for like what he does though,
Yeah.
which is funny.
Yeah.
Their back and forth was funny.
Yeah.
well, and you definitely saw a little jealous from
Oh,
Shaw,
yeah.
right? Like
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
because he was kind of wait, supposed to be here protecting her, and
Mhm.
she's choosing you. His ego taking a little hit on that.
Yeah. Sad.
But yeah. But it was just, you're right. It's odd that, like, I mean, I guess for plot, whatever, but like
Yeah.
to have him stay behind for a little bit, but they have to come back and save him or help them. But, but yeah, so anyway, they get to cover, and then we see this crazy, cool dragon looking thing just come out of there. And
Flying around, stretching its wings.
but also definitely scary if I was really there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I will say I really like the amount of times we've seen monsters in this show. Like, it's not like the scenes with them are far and few between. Like, we get a good amount, because that's what you want to see when you see a show like this. Show me the monsters.
True.
Well, and they're not also, because one of the ways you could go to cheap it is like have only close up, like, you know, almost like we kind of saw King Kong possibly there at the very beginning.
Yeah.
If you did a lot of stuff like that and never really revealed them
as a whole.
and
yeah, we get to see their whole bodies and everything.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's kind of where we leave them. And then the 2015 plot line. And one of the things I skipped over from episode 1, I forgot she ran out, and then she got she was talking to her mom, right? And then she got cut off.
Yeah, because the alert started to play.
And then she had to go underground, and she kind of had a panic attack.
Yeah, she had a Vietnam flashback.
And then and then they showed the flashback of her trying to save the kids from the school bus and with the Godzilla attack on San Francisco.
This scene was insane.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorite scenes in the 2 episodes by far, just because, you know, she's on that bridge and she looks up and just freaking Godzilla's towering over, roaring into the sky, and it just looks so real.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching it with Jered, and I was like, can you imagine just standing there and just seeing this and hearing that loud, like, deafening roar happening? It'd be insane. It'd be absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Goosebumps.
Really cool scene.
Yeah, I think that is one of the best of the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I just realized that we didn't talk about that specific monster scene and where she
it was awesome.
she had the flashback. Yeah, so then Tim and Monarch field agents are tracking down Kate and Kentaro and May, and they kind of keep eluding them, right? We see multiple times they kind of elude them.
Right.
And then Kento goes back to the Hiroshi's office and discovers some other files and sees that Shaw is at a assisted living facility in Japan. And then Kate, they had her in custody, and she escapes. Basically, has another panic attack. You know, because they were trying to cover her head so she didn't see where they were going, and
she kicked the crap out of that driver.
Yeah, driver, and the whole car wrecks, and that's how she kind of gets away. But yeah, so then they track down Shaw and go see him in his prison retirement facility.
Yeah, pretty lush prison.
Yeah. And then he convinces them, let's escape and go find your dad.
Mm-hmm. Find that airplane or helicopter that he was in.
And they're heading to Alaska, I guess.
It's crazy that we don't see Kurt Russell to the very end of the second episode.
Yep.
So I hope we'll see like a decent amount of him.
I think he will, because I think he's going to be heavily involved with them in the 2015, because he's going with them to Alaska. So I think.
And it's a big deal. I mean, since he's such a big actor anyway, but I don't think he's ever been in a TV show before till now.
Probably not.
Right? So that's even more like a big deal when it comes to him.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And again, though, like, this is technically a show, but like you said, it looks as good as the movies. Like, and it feels very much like cinematic, like a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do we think this is going? A little speculation.
I mean, I don't think he's dead.
The dad. Yeah.
No.
I don't think he's dead. I think they'll find him. Maybe not in the next episode, but
yeah. It might take a
probably
little
the
bit,
4th or 5th when they'll find out that he's alive.
I guess I didn't look this up. Is this a miniseries or this is like?
They didn't say.
Yeah. So it could be there could be a season 2.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they kept it going. But even if they do, it probably won't be many seasons because just I mean, like we were talking about, like the amount of budget, like the amount of money for the show. I don't think they were going to do like 6 seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it would be, yeah. So I don't know. I guess they're waiting to see how it does. Maybe.
You know what I was one of the things I was thinking about watching this. It's like I wonder if because I saw a rumor a while back that they some of the Apple TV stuff they were having them film it in 3D in preparation for the Apple Vision.
Oh,
And this would
wow.
That
this
would be
this would be the perfect.
That would be out of control.
Imagine,
dude. Yes, this would be. You're right. The perfect
oh my gosh, that would
thing
be
for that.
awesome.
So I don't know because I don't know when how because
Yeah.
I mean the rumor was I think earlier this year, but I mean that doesn't mean they didn't when they filmed this because I mean obviously Apple has been developing that thing for years. So,
Yeah. Who knows when this actually was filmed? Yeah.
Yes, even if it was filmed the last year or two, they could easily. And it's not like it's unusual to have. I mean, TV shows, yes, but movies get made 3D versions still all the time. So, yeah. Anyway, it was just something I was sitting there thinking, like when
That
I
would
watched
be
it.
just insane. Yeah.
Well, the main thing is like the monsters. Like I hope we actually see like all of them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the other one we were talking about?
Mothma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
What does Mothma look
Was it in
like?
any of the movies? Thought it was, or maybe the old ones.
Let me see.
But yeah, that's still a big one. And then there's a C one.
Oh, right.
I don't remember what it was called though.
Or Mothra. Is it Mothra? Yes. It's not
Mothma is from Star
I'm
Wars.
thinking about Mothman.
But
too.
Mothma is from Star
Is it?
Wars. Yeah.
Mothra.
I know. I was gonna get mixed up because I was thinking of Mothman.
I'm trying to think of the monster that was in the 2014 Godzilla because that one kind of looks like a moth, and I don't know if they
Well, then it's gotta be
said
that.
it was Mothra. I can't remember.
Well, I had to look this up because this is about like Godzilla versus the Titans. I'm like, all right, well, who all is involved in the Titans? So, yeah, I mean, there's probably even more that we don't know about too. I'm sure there's like a lot of them. So, it'd be cool to see them. But it just the main thing, like in the movies, like we gotta see them fight each other at some point. That's like the coolest part.
Oh no, it's called Muto.
Yeah, they said that. What they call them.
I don't think that it's. If it was Mothra in the 2014 one, they never said it.
Dang. Okay.
But it did look like a big winged moth.
Okay.
So it could be. But I don't know. That would be pretty tight though.
Yes.
If that was in this one. Oh man, that's such a good movie. I'm gonna watch that. Do we have it? I want to watch it tonight.
What So what is Monarch? What do we think Monarch is?
I mean, I just think it's like I said, the monster version of Men in Black, where they're like agents that are just studying.
Kind of
like over like 100 years. It seems like because they
this
keep jumping around.
and trying to understand
it, but also like keep it away from the general population.
how to control it. I guess, yeah.
Well, you could compare it to like X-Files too, and like what they do to like try to keep all of it from the public knowing about everything. So kind of that same vibe.
Keep us in the dark.
So then I guess the other possibility would be that they are the ones that created the monsters.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
So
that could absolutely be
If they did, some them
experiments going on.
Yeah. Because either they're other beings that already existed, which is kind of what your first point was, and they just discovered them and kind of are just studying them, but also trying to keep them at bay from affecting the general population, right?
Yeah.
Or they were experimenting and doing things that I don't know.
Playing around with elements they shouldn't have.
I think it'd be cool either way, whether they were just like always have just been there on Earth, or if we find out something created them, that would be
'Cause I know
cool to find that
haven't
out too.
I haven't seen all the movies, so like, I don't know if there is a little bit of hints of the lore in there, but
In the 2014 Godzilla movie, Godzilla is portrayed as a protector because this like Mothra-like monster, if it is Mothra, comes in, and actually there's a boy one and a girl one, and they just start terrorizing, and I think they lay eggs or whatever, but start terrorizing the cities, and obviously the government's trying to like keep it under control. Godzilla shows up on the scene for awakening from his slumber from years, and just comes in and absolutely destroys these monsters. I mean, like it's like a long-winded fight between them two, and it's so awesome to see because they give Godzilla a run for his money, but he's the king of the castle. There's a scene in that movie where Godzilla literally pries open the mouth of this monster and just barfs fire down its throat, and it's one of the coolest scenes. But once that's done, Godzilla's like, all right, bye, goes back into the sea and disappears. Like, once the threat is gone, he doesn't like continue destroying the city and stuff. He just knows that he has to fight these people, and everybody's safe. Cool, all right, call me when you need me again. And then he just dips.
so that might be where if he shows up at some point, he's going to show up again because if the call, like you said, versus the Titans or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
that
be
would be
the-
when he shows
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Could just be
And-
coming to help.
Do they? Because I have not seen all the movies either. Like, is Monarch mentioned in any of those, or did they just make it up for the show?
That's a good question. I don't remember the agency that
Okay. Might not be something they get
Cranston
into.
works
Yeah.
for in the movie. I don't think so, but don't quote me.
It's probably something they made up for the show. I don't think they got
Probably.
into too much of that in the movies.
Yeah, retrofitting it to the overall. But yeah, it's cool.
It is cool to see how much it is connected to the movies, because they're probably still making another movie too, right?
I'm sure.
Because the one just came out like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Godzilla versus, what was it called?
I don't know.
It was one of the ones that came out the year that everything came on HBO right away. I remember.
I don't remember.
So it's the same year as Dune. So 2021?
I saw that one.
Because I remember it was on HBO
I don't think
immediately.
I have actually the newest one, because it did come out on HBO
Yeah.
when it came out. No, I have not seen that one yet.
So that was 2021. Was that year they did all that? So they're probably making another one.
Yeah, it's about time. Maybe it'll piggyback off this season.
Be cool if they tied it. Yeah, tied it in.
Now I gotta go back and rewatch so I can get my knowledge up.
Should watch the original from like the 40s or whenever
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't it older than that
Looked
even?
terrible. I couldn't watch it. I could not sit through that movie.
Yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts about these first two episodes?
Nope.
No,
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So next week we'll discuss episode 3 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. We appreciate and are thankful for all of you that watch and listen, and have a happy Thanksgiving. If you like to support us in a way or say thanks, you can like and subscribe on YouTube, or you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And then you can send us some feedback and tell us what you're thankful for on this Thanksgiving day, and email us at feedback@screentimepod.com. And if you'd like to follow any of us on Instagram, I'm at jyoungbar,
I'm at Claudia Youngbar.
I'm at Jered Youngbar.
and we will talk to you guys next week.
Konnichiwa.